Hello everyone, welcome to my weekly class to go. My name is Michelle Pepper and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Auckland in New Zealand. So in this class I will be demonstrating two projects from beginning to end using the He's All That stamp set. Now if you are in New Zealand you place an order with me this week, a minimum order of $40, I will be sending you the card kits for this class for free as a thank you gift from me. Now I will be sending you 2 kits for each design. That makes 4 card kits. Alright, so yeah, and so let's get the class started. So the He's All That stamp set is, you can find it in our annual catalogue on page 83. And you can also see that it says there coordinates with all that dies. So let me show you the actual product here. So the stamp set is with the red rubber, so it's a cling stamp set, so it stamps beautifully. And then the all that dies is a set of dies, 10 dies, okay? And basically they are label shapes. You've got the rectangle with rounded corners. You've got this kind of a bit more ornate rectangular shape. You have a little arrow banner type thing. These cuts 2 banners out at the same time, and then those 2 banners as well with a little curve, and I'm going to show you in this class how we're using those as well. And then there's this little scallop circle type die and an oval, and I think these are called argyles. So yeah, so as you can see, you can actually use these dies independently of the stamps, and you can use these dies independently of, the stamps independently of the dies as well. So you don't actually have to have both, but when Stampin' Up brings in products that are coordinating, I like to get them both because then it kind of like just maximizes for me what I can do with these. So but it's not necessary, just to let you know, okay? Now, before we get on with the class, I wanted to show you a couple of samples that I have also shared on my blog and also in my social media posts. If you haven't followed me, I'd love you to go and follow me on Stamp with Michelle and on Instagram as well. So that will be great, and I really appreciate it. Now, I have shown this this card on Sunday in my social media, and then on Monday I showed you a card of how I have cased this card. So case being copy and selectively edit. So you can see it's very similar, okay? Case, you can actually case completely, or you can really just use it as a starting point and then change up a whole different, a whole lot of different things that in the end your card might look totally different, but the point, or you have some similar elements. In my case for this card, it's actually quite similar. I've just changed a couple of things. For example, I do not have the embossing folder that was used in this card sample, so I use pattern paper instead. Right, and then I have changed up the colors a little bit because I was looking for colors that go well with the wild wheat, and Blackberry Bliss came up on the color coach. So I stamped this. I heat embossed in white on Blackberry Bliss cardstock. So let me just bring it up closer, then you can see better. Okay, and then I use different kind of gems, again, just to go with the color palette. So, very similar, but different, and in a way, I've made this my own, instead of just a straight copying 100%, right? Now, copying a card sample from our catalogs is definitely a done thing, all right? We encourage that in our community because we just know that, it's just, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you make a card. So definitely use our catalogs as ideas book as well. Okay, let me just put that one aside so that I can show you card number 2 that I shared on Tuesday. So we've got Tuesday. I shared this one where I made my own DSP. So this is actually a panel, and I've one card, and I've just stamped it and then cut it in thirds. So using a variety of the images here, I've used that, and those two as well. Okay, so to make this wonderful card. All right, so let me put those aside, and let's get on with our cards today. So first up is this card here, nice and simple and classic. As the saying goes, happy birthday to a classic. So I've kept the design of this card quite classic as well. All right. So now, if you don't know how my class to go works, is you can obviously watch this video anytime now that it's uploaded on YouTube. But if you wanted the convenience of the card kits, having everything cut out for you, and all you pretty much have to do is stamp and maybe do some fussy cutting if you need it to, and then put it together. And I've done all the hard work of cutting it, all the layers and the cardstock for you. So yeah, so that is available to you if you live in New Zealand and you place an order, a minimum order of $40 this week with me, and I'll send you 2 card kits for this card. And then 2 card kits for the next card that we are demonstrating today as well. So that makes a total of 4 card kits that you will get for free as a thank you gift from me. Okay, so let's have a look at what we have here. Now, as per Stampin' Up policy, I'm not allowed to give you stamp images. So therefore, I've given you the die cuts such as this one, without the stamp image. Okay, so you will need this stamp set to make the card exactly as is, to stamp on here. Now, you can substitute and use something else that you have that would work, that would fit in here as well. And yeah, and so you would have then, selectively copy and selectively edit this card design to make it your own. Okay, so you will get in your kit the envelope, always included, and then we have a card base, a basic white card base, and inside I've also got now this color is blueberry bushel, so the matte layer and the stamp layer or the writing layer, so that goes on the inside here. And then on the outside we have this blueberry bushel layer which I have pre-embossed. Okay, and because it's a happy birthday card, I've pre-embossed with like a music notes. Merry Melody is the embossing folder, I believe. And now, okay, I'm just doing some creative license here. It doesn't actually play. These notes aren't the happy birthday song, but it's just music. I just wanted to add that. And then we have the layering. So we've got the matte, the basic white as a matte, and then we have this blueberry bushel layer, which we will be stamping. That goes on there. And then those 2, the banners that I told you we would be using in this class, and that. All right, and now we also have little gems here. This is the rustic metal, what is it called? It's called, rustic metallic adhesive backed dots, right, because it already has adhesive in it. Okay, let's get on with some stamping. And now we are using, let me pull this open. We've got, what did I say? A classic. All right, this one. Just gonna see, right, that will fit right in there. So that's just gonna go on here. Now I'm going to pull in a piece of paper just to protect my work surface a little bit. Okay, and move that, just put that down here. Move that along. All right, here we go. So just kind of making it a little bit tidier. softly. Alright, so the color that I'm using, so as you can see, this is a very monochromatic. It's monochromatic. It's just basically one color. Right, you need one stamp set, which is the blueberry bushel. Here we go. And just, ooh, it's a very juicy stamp pad. So let me just stamp it a few times. Right, I'm just going to do that. I think that's going to be plenty enough. Now I'm just going to go a bit closer. Hopefully you don't see the top of my head, which you may do though. I apologize for that. Alright, so just kind of stamp it down, let it go, and there you go. We've got Happy Birthday Classic. Now the next stamping that we're going to be doing is this little corner stamp that, you know, sometimes it's easy to overlook those little stamps. So I wanted to demonstrate that how you can use them for designs. So here I'm just going to add that, and I'm just going to create, I'm just going to stamp along here to make just some pattern, right? So just to add interest to this cardstock instead of just being solid color. It has a little bit of interest in it and to it. Now I'm just going to stamp once and then stamp off. I'm not too worried if they're not straight line. Okay, so and then stamp, stamp off, stamp, stamp off, stamp, stamp off, stamp, stamp off. So you can see I just keep going, stamp, stamp off, stamp, stamp off, oh, stamp off. Yep, as you can see, I'm not, you know, worried if it's not in a straight line. Now this time, because I have half of it there, I'm just going to do that and that before I stamp off here. There, there, and there. Now, just so that it looks like it's actually, yep, I'm just going to do that. Just the ending. Alright. So there we go. We've got a little pattern. Alright, so that's those two done now, and I think I'm pretty much, oh actually, what I will do is, while I've got that, I'm going to stamp on the inside as well. So let's see, it says happy birthday to a classic. I don't know, maybe I could do holy smokes, you're amazing. Or actually, what about that? Okay, maybe I'll use that little stamp here. It's a little circle one. Okay, I'm just using my little block again. And all I'm going to do is stamp a row of this. So it's kind of whimsical, probably not very classic, but yeah, I'm just happy with that. And then I'm going to do the top as well. Yeah, actually I might do that. Alrighty. So happy with that, and that is my little card. You might not like this in the sense that it's not perfectly straight, but yeah, so you are most welcome to do a more diligent job than what I've done here. So let me just glue that. Let me get my glue out. But yeah, I have learned over the years not to stress about, you know, having everything in a straight line and being perfectionist, because that is, I found for me anyway, that is what stops me, or it's a barrier. It stops me from actually creating, because I'm too worried about making mistakes and too worried about not getting it perfect. Okay, so so it's something I have learned to let go of. So for want of a better word, so that I'm a bit more productive and more prolific in terms of making cards. Yeah, so the point, I guess, of a handmade card is that it is handmade, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, because it's not done by a professional machine. It's just, you know, my creative process, and I'm thinking of the person that I'm making the cards for, and, you know, I'm just praying for them as I'm making them, or, you know, yeah, I'm just, you know, I just like the process of creating. And I think it's important that we do take a breather and take time out to do things that we love, such as these, you know, and yes, we are all busy people, and so you want to not spend too much time, but you do want to be able to create things. So I think it does a world of good for our mental health, just, you know, slowing things down for us, and enjoying life instead of always being on the go and busy. So you see, I've just matted that on there, and then, yeah, I've actually kept them all in one layer, so that if you're posting this, you know, if you're posting your cards, you've got to be mindful of not making it too thick, because then that increases your postage. Alright, so it doesn't matter if you're going to hand give the card, if you're going to give it by hand, but otherwise, yeah. Alright, so the next thing to do here is to add that on, and we need these little banners. So this is what I've done, right? I'm going to use these, and I am going to use my I'm just going to use my marker, right? Stamping Right marker. They're dual end, so you've got, if you notice, this white line here is thicker than this one here. So this is the pen nib end, and this is the brush end. Okay, so I'm going to, as you can see, I've got a mixture. I'm making it like so light and thin. So I'm just going to go, you know, again, don't stress about it, just draw it, right? 3 lines. And then I'm going to use the other side. And I'm going to, oops, draw the middle. Okay. Should have done that at the same time. Oh well, we can do that now. That, actually, you know what? I probably need to do the thicker one first. Thick lines first. So make sure I cover it all. Actually, it doesn't really matter. Right, so I'll put that away so we're not cluttering up the space yet. Right, and so now I'm going to add that behind it and that over there, and this is how it will look. Okay, so let's have a look. So just putting my glue on, and simply, I think I want to do that. And then this one, I want to do like that. Right. Putting the glue on. Only a tiny amount is needed. You know, we've got such an amazing quality glue. I love the Tombow glue. Let me know, do you like using the multi-purpose liquid glue, or are you a stamping seal person or a tear and tape person. So now this, I will raise this up using, most of my cards generally have something that are raised. And it's interesting learning from other crafters as well, what they do. I know my friend Susan, she says she tends not to use dimensionals for like big cardstock like that. She probably wouldn't use, but for little things like this, she would use dimensionals. Okay, so that's a good rule of thumb, I guess, you know, because sometimes with the bigger one, you just end up using a lot, and so that it doesn't sag. And finishing touch, and there you go. This is the card. Last little bit, we're just going to use that, and I'm going to pull the dot out, and I'm just going to do it right here, and a little one. Now where did I put it? Did I put it on here? I did. Yep, just kind of framing the sentiment and the shape here. Oops, that didn't work very well. Okay, so card number 1, ta-da, is done. All right, so that's all kind of cool. So you've got space here to write, and that's your card number 1. All right, let's get on to card number 2. Now let's just move these out of the way for now. And put that on the side there so you can see. Actually, no, maybe I'll just move it totally out of the way. Card number 2 is this. Oh, you know what? I completely missed that step. Okay, so we make mistakes. All right, but that's okay. Let's see if I can salvage this. You see how this blue circle here? That's not included in your card kit because it was going to come out of this. Okay, so I will need to get some extra supply. So let's do that process again. Oh dear, here we go. Where's my, well, that's what happens. I'm not editing this video, so that's good. This is what happens, right? It happens to the best of us. So we're just gonna do that. I'm gonna repeat this whole process. I'll do that one there. I think I'm not leaving as much gap in this one, so this looks like, I think this is the right size. Which is, should be 3 by 4. I actually have those, whoops, oh well, so I've changed the, not concentrating because I'm trying to do it fast. Anyway, gotta do that. Alright, so let's see, just repeat that part. I've actually pulled the circle punch out so that I don't forget, and then I did forget. So the idea was that you have this, and then you use the circle punch, which is a 2-inch circle punch. And you kind of eyeball it-ish in the middle. Kind of about so. Maybe move that a little bit. Alright. So now you have this for your second card. And you have this and that piece that just goes on top of it. Right? So you can't actually see it. Like, I don't know if you can see. And it actually looks really cool. You know, like having a dimensional, so like this one doesn't. Right, so that was that step that we missed out on. All right. But yes, so then we have this second card kit. So you've got everything you need except that blue, because you're meant to have cut out of that first card. Okay, so we've got that. Put the envelope, as always. It always comes with envelope. And then we have a basic white card base. All right, and then we have, this color is copper clay, one of our new in colors. And then we've got that as a matte, and we have the stamping or writing layer in here, and that goes on the inside of the card. All right, let me see. Do I want to stamp something on here? I've made this of wishing you a happy Father's Day. Every day with you is another adventure. So this one, I don't know, maybe I'll just use Hello Handsome. Just because I can, right? Might not be something you use, but hey, this is a fun card. And what color shall I make it? I'm going to make it the same color as the matte on the inside. Okay, so I'm just going to go for copper clay. And cool. And where shall I put it? I think I'll just do it here. Hello Handsome. All right, sweet. Nice and easy. Glue that on. Our ink dries really quickly, even these ones here, which is so juicy. Sometimes when you get an ink pad brand new, it's so juicy that it actually leaks out. But the point is, these ink dry so quickly, you know, you don't have to wait for ages. Maybe, you know, 2 or 3 seconds. That's really all you need. And then that goes. Cool. So then that goes kind of center-ish. Alright, that's the inside of the card done. Now it's a good idea to burnish the card base when you get it, because I wouldn't have done it. I've just scored it for you. Okay, now this, we're just doing the same design the front here. Right, so that's just going to go straight on. In the center. Right, so we've got that's going to go on here, and then I've got the circle. I punched it out for you, so all you need to do is stamp. And I was going to do every day with the compass. It's an adventure with you. So it's great that it's a circle. I just, well, maybe I will do that. And I am going to keep with the color, same color. So blueberry bushel, copper clay, and then crushed curry. I believe I have got this color scheme out of Color Coach as well. Okay, sorry for the top of my head. It's really hard to see, isn't it? Let me see if I can do this. I pulled in another color so that I can see through. It's not white on white. Okay, and then the good thing about circle is, if I didn't stamp it nice and straight, it doesn't matter, because you can just change the orientation. Alright, so pretty happy with that. It's a little bit off. Okay, maybe it might bother me. You know, I told you that I've let go of perfectionist, but that doesn't mean that I've completely let go of. And where I can try and yeah, like there's 2 sides to a paper, so I can, it's not, you know, I can just, it's very easy to just turn it over and just stamp on the other side of it. Yep, so I think slightly better than this. It's skewed down instead of skewed to the side. So I'm just gonna use that one. Okay, let's put that one aside, and then that goes on there. Actually, that's cool. So I can do it like that every day with you. Now, so you can see, you know, there's no right and wrong answer. This one I've done every day with you is another adventure, and this one I'm just going to do more vertical, right? And put that one away so that it's, and then put that away. Okay, I do need that strip of crushed curry, and I'm going to use wishing you a happy Father's Day stamp. Ooh, for Father's Day for us in New Zealand, it's not till September. So I'm being very organized with this one. I'm just going to use the block. And I think I stamped it in black, but you know what? I can just carry on with the blue. I can just keep on with all the blues. Right, so, and then I can just put this. Maybe I'll do it right in the center, then I can decide how much room. Right? Ooh, perfect. Is that pretty? Isn't that beautiful? Love it. The good stamp. Right, let me have that. So then that will go. So obviously that's too long. I don't want to cover everything up. Scissors. What have I done with my scissors? Scissors, snip, snips. Paper snips. Right, I can just cut that off. See what I mean? No perfectionist here. I'm just cutting it, and it's probably not straight, but that's all right. When it's your own card, kids, right, you can be a bit more diligent if you wanted to, and that's okay. Right, do I want that to kind of, you know, I'm just going to do that every day with you. Right, so let's glue that down. Let's glue down flat. That one's also flat. So you can do that pattern or that way, okay? And then that is going to go on here. Okay, I see why I didn't, let me see if I can I maneuver this? Is it too late? Our glue is so good. It might be too late. I don't want to rip it entirely off. Maybe? Let's have a look. Yes, because then now, I know the compass is, oh yeah, the compass I've made it straight, whereas this now it's not going to be. But it's because I didn't want to hide all the words, okay, because before, how I had it before, I would have hidden is another. So yeah, so now this way, that kind of works better for this. All right, so I have got a twine that I've even tied it in a bow for you already, so makes it nice and easy. And just grab a glue dot, a mini glue dot. All right, and then we just kind of how would you have yours? Just going to have it like that. And then put it there. Okay, so happy with that. Then dimensionals. So we've got there and there, and maybe one more here. Right, just get rid of that, get rid of that. Okay, we're just about done with this card. How's that? Yeah, so we've got slight variations, but that's okay. That's what you're meant to have. You don't have to do exactly the same. Nobody will know because they haven't seen the original card. Your recipient, I mean, wouldn't know because they haven't seen the original card. So they've got nothing to compare it to, right? So do I want here or do I want out here? I don't know. I'm just going to put it down here. Happy Father's Day. And there is card number 2. So this is our class to go this week using the He's All That stamp set. And this is card number 2 and card number 1. Alright, so here you go. So you'll be getting 2 card kits for this design, 2 card kits for this design, 4 card kits altogether for free from me as a thank you gift for when you place a qualifying order, which is $40 or more with me this week, all right, by Friday the 2nd of June. Right, so I hope you enjoy the class, and I will see you next week. All the best for the rest of the week. Thank you.